Now for the latest on COVID-19. Monroe County's health commissioner today saying the community is, quote, playing with fire at this point when it comes to not getting vaccinated. Dr. Mike Mendoza told Christian Garzone today that numbers are due out soon that will highlight what's been happening over the last few weeks and will offer insight into vaccinated versus unvaccinated populations. Christian joining us live now. Christian, what are you learning?
Well, Adam, Mendoza says those numbers are going to show a very convincing argument for the vaccine. Right now, they're still putting those numbers together. But Mendoza says for those of us who choose not to get vaccinated, there's plenty of people out there. He says that means COVID can only grow deadlier and more resistant. The public health commissioner says the more people who choose to not get vaccinated, it opens the door to deadlier variants, even strains of COVID that could be vaccine resistant.
We're playing with fire here. The longer we have our community under-vaccinated as we are now.
Sadly, he says, it's become so polarized, and never in his career has he seen such a thing. He says that now Pfizer has full FDA approval. It's on the exact same plane as the other vaccines out there we all usually get.
This is far more effective than the flu shot, and we don't get the same level of pushback on the flu shot.
Since March 1st, 86% of COVID deaths were from people who were unvaccinated here. When it comes to the Delta variant, Mendoza says he'd like to think we're at the plateau of it right now.
The fact that our numbers aren't, in the 200s and 300s per day is reassuring to me now.
Even with all this, Mendoza says we know how to stay open with parameters in place. Penfield and other school districts today had their first day of classes.
I feel really good about the kids being in school, and we know that the cost of them not being in school is really a cost that we're just not willing to bear for another year.
Mendoza says when some of these new data numbers come out, it will show that the COVID vaccine, while not perfect, is effective, and it's a tool key for our health and economy.
They're not, by and large, getting sick. They're generally not getting hospitalized, and they're not dying.
Now, we also talked about booster shots, the economy, and the colder weather approaching. We'll have more from Dr. Mendoza at 6 p.m. Live in downtown Rochester, Christian Garzone, News 8. Adam, right back to you.
All right, Christian, thank you. And by the way, if you want to learn more about the vaccines that are out there, the booster shot, and the guidelines, you can get all that over at rochesterfirst.com.